Did you know you can find out if your email address, username, or password appears in lists on the internet of compromised data? You can. If you are interested to find out how you can do that, stay tuned for this episode and find out if you have been pwned. Welcome to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost with me, Charly Leetham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and I'll break them down into bite-sized tips you can use straight away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder. Rise and Shine is your dose of business tech inspiration with me, Charly Leetham. Episode number 697 today, and I'm going to be walking through a site called Have I Been Pwned? Pwned. Got to make sure I spell that right. Have I Been Pwned? I am actually going to talk in detail on Have I Been Pwned on Friday during Firewall Friday and why it's important to you. I thought today, though, before that episode, I'll show you how to use it. So if you're wondering about why you want to use it and the importance of it, I really go into the details of it on Friday. I'll give you some information today, but do go and watch Friday's episode when it comes out. I think you'll get a lot out of it. So without further ado, I'm going to head across to Have I Been Pwned? I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go through what it is and how you can use it. Alrighty guys, this is the site Have I Been Pwned, PWNED.com. Have I Been Pwned? This is a site by Troy Hunt from Australia. He has spent ages, and basically what he's done is he's gone out to the internet, to the dark web, and got all the information and gets all the information that gets thrown out there when sites get hacked, has pulled it into a huge database here that allows us to query it for our email addresses and our passwords to see if we have been caught up in any of the compromises. Now, I go into this in detail on Friday, but it doesn't necessarily mean we have been compromised. It does mean that the likelihood for compromise is, or the probability of compromise is a little higher for us if we appear on this site. So let's just go through it real quick. We enter our email address here. I'll come back to that one in just a moment. At the moment, we're tracking 966 pwned sites, and I think that's 17 billion. I don't know. That's a big number of pwned accounts. Now, an account is an email address, basically, or a username, basically. Let's go through how this works, shall we? Not that you guys would, but anyone watching the video can take the address that I'm putting in and use it. So I like to be a little careful. So I'm going to put my email address in and hit check. Now that email address is clear, and I'm very grateful that the email address is clear. Doesn't mean to say it's going to stay clear. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? Someone might go to a site where I've used that email address to sign up for something, and it's going to get compromised and put out there as a breach. Okay, so I'm going to go back up and I'm going to change that email address to another one. Now this one, while Ryan has got this all blurred out, this one I had hooked up to, or I do have hooked up to a Google account. Mistakenly, I used it for SSO. Now it's really easy, and it's probably really convenient to say, yeah, I just want to sign in with my Google account or my Facebook account and use that account to sign in. Unfortunately, once those sites are compromised, that account is kind of out there. So if you've got your Google account hooked up and you're using it to log into sites and you find you're on here, go and change your password straight away, basically. Okay, so let's just hit check. Okay, this account is on 16 data breaches. I'm not surprised. It's an older account. Like I said, I did have it hooked up to my Google single sign-on, and when I was younger and more foolish, would use that to log in. So what have I got here? Let's just go through some of them so we can look at them. We've got that it starts at the most recent and goes to the oldest hack. So the most recent ones may or may not be concerning. Sorry, may or may not be the most concerning. I think you should treat them all with equal respect. If it's on this list and you know that you've got access to that email address, go and change it. Go change your password at the very least. On Friday, I go into a lot of detail into what you can do if you do appear on this list. Okay, so what have we got? You've got when it was reported, you've got what it was, and then you have, most importantly, the compromised data. So for Trello, it was email addresses, names, and usernames. Now, not so great, and the fact that it has an email address and a username means now that they can try and determine what accounts you're using with usernames and email addresses, okay? No passwords in that one. I'm just going to scroll through relatively quickly. We've got Epic. I don't even remember what it was I signed up for here, but they got most concerning for me is physical addresses, which means they kind of know where you are. Really starts to get into your physical privacy and your physical security. Now, that is if you've entered all of those details. Now, not all places require you to enter all of those details. And again, on Friday, I'm going to address some of this, but put in as little information as you absolutely need to take an account. Don't give away the keys to your castle. Let's scroll down. Gravatar, email addresses, names, usernames, keep coming down. Hopper Media, emails, geographic locations, names, phone number. Yeah. 123RF. Here we go. 123RF. You see, I've got passwords in here. Now, if you see passwords here, it is a concern. That means you should be going to change passwords at the very least. I would change them anyway, but if you see passwords, you must go and change your passwords. The thing to consider here is when you read through the text, look for how the passwords, it will normally tell you how the passwords are stored. So here it's telling me they're stored as MD5 hashes. All technical jargon, right? MD5 hashes, if you see hashes, it's kind of like encryption, kind of, sort of. It means that it's harder for the hackers to get access to the password. It means they've got to go through extra steps to get it, if they can get it at all. They've still got to break the hash to get into it. So it's going to take them longer, and they may or may not be able to do it, but that doesn't mean to say you shouldn't go and change your password. If you see your passwords in these lists, absolutely go change your passwords. And it's scroll down a little further. We're just going to keep going down. So you can see the type of data that these people are storing in their databases to begin with, and then allowing that, well, not allowing it, but then it gets compromised. This one, look at all the information they got from here. And now they've got a date of birth associated with me. Maybe if I put in a date of birth, it's got my geographical locations, it's got physical addresses, it's got emails, it's got names. I mean, the opportunity here to steal identities becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And don't think that just because this is one data set and this is another data set over here, that they aren't washing those data sets against each other to find similarities and try and build that entire profile, because they absolutely are. Apollo, email addresses, no passwords in there. I'm just trying to find, passwords. Here we go. Another lot of passwords gone from share this, and the date of birth again. I don't know why they collect date of birth, but anyway. Where does it say this? And password hashes. Doesn't say what type of hashes, but the passwords were hash to some degree. So a little less worrying, but still they've got a password. They can get access to it. With a little bit of extra work, they can get access to it. Go and change your password. PyZap's the same. No passwords there. And you'll see passwords are stored as. Okay, so you've got an idea of whether they were encrypted or not, or securely stored. I'm just going to scroll down. There's one right at the bottom I want to look at. This one, Clear Voice Surveys. I don't even remember when I signed up for this. So this was back in, it was found in 2021, but it was done in August 2015. So it took them 6 years to find this hack, which is concerning of itself. But you'll notice it's got passwords here, and then when I go and look for passwords in the list here, it says plain text passwords. Now, no business today should be storing passwords in plain text. Now, what do we mean by that? It means that when it's stored into the database, it is stored exactly as you typed it. It isn't hashed. It isn't encrypted. When you go and open the database field and you look at it, you can see the password. You can actually read the password in plain text. So this one is a major, major issue because the passwords were in plain text. Really easy to start to go and hack people's accounts. Oh, email address. Let's go try this password on all these other accounts and see which one gives us a hit. I do explain why I'm talking about this on Friday. It's a great episode. I think you'll enjoy it. Do go and watch it because it'll make this so much more clearer as to why I'm really pushing the password issue. So yeah, clear voice surveys, plain text passwords. That's I'm probably going to even change my email address and password. Unique password for every site now, basically. Okay, and Tumblr, they've got email addresses and passwords again, and the passwords were stored as salted SH1 hashes. No, not peanuts, SH1 hashes. Okay, Dropbox got done as well. Discuss got done as well, and that's the end of it. So that is the number of account or places that email address has been found. My next step from here, if I hadn't already done it, would be to go and to these sites at the very least and either delete my account or change the password. I use a password manager and I try to have a unique password for every website. I have a unique password for every website, which is why I use a password manager. I also have addressed, long and encrypted passwords in another episode where I talk about using passcodes and passphrases that mean something to you as opposed to just having a random set of characters and numbers. Alrighty, let's just head back up to the top here because I want to show you a couple of other things before I finish up this episode. Just scrolling very slowly because now, you'll see we've got this ability to stay protected, get notified when your email address appears in future breaches. You can click on Notify Me. Now, before I click on Notify Me, you must have access to the email address. So if you're checking for an email address you no longer use, it's probably not as much of an issue because you no longer use that email address or it's no longer in existence. But if you are checking for an email address you no longer have access to, you will have to just come back and check this site manually. You won't be able to get notifications on it. But if I click on the Notify Me button here, it's going to say you enter your email address. It sends you a verification to your inbox. Click on the link in your inbox and you will get notifications when your data appears in breaches. So I would also be setting up rules in my inbox so that if something comes in from haveibeenpwned.com, it actually notifies me and sticks it right at the top of my inbox so I can do something with it. The next thing I want to talk about is this passwords one at the top here. If you come to passwords, you'll see it says check to see if your password has appeared in any known data breaches. Now, I can hear you all screaming, and I do address this on Friday in more detail. Why would you put your password in there and send it to a server? Aren't you just sending out your information to a server? You are absolutely correct. Normally, if you get a field that says, do this, don't do it. Don't do it because your data doesn't stay on your computer. Normally, when you hit check or send on a form field like this, it's sent out to the server. So it goes across the internet, gets stored on the server while it does its thing, and then the data is sent back to you. Troy's done a great job here. Basically, what he's done, as I understand it, he doesn't send the password from here. And it does a little bit of work. It sends a little bit of data up to the server. The server then sends information back down to our computers, and it's our computers that does the checking and then tells us if our password has been breached. All right. So don't be so concerned about this one. It's very, very clever. It's very well done, and I do address it in a lot more detail on Friday. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a password here, and you'll see that it's got the password dots up, which is great. And I'm going to hit check, and it tells you that that password is seen 88 times in the data breaches. Now, 88 times out of 966 sites and 16 billion, I think it is, accounts, is not a great number, but it's still there. So that would mean I will never, ever, ever use that password again, ever, or a variation of that password. Mostly because someone's got it. But if your password is showing up in here, you really do need to go and change it. Alrighty, guys. That's it for here. I'll come back and have a chat to you. Okay, so I hope that's been useful to you. I think the site is great. I think it's fantastic that someone took a really negative thing like people stealing our credentials and putting them out there on the internet for other people to buy and access, and used that to their advantage. I think it's fantastic. It's also beneficial for us. What do I recommend for us as people? Go and check your emails regularly. Check your email addresses regularly. Sign up to the notification service if you want to. I recommend you do, and check your passwords. Make sure your passwords haven't been leaked out into the internet as well. What do you do if you appear on those breach lists like that email address of mine did? You go and change all your passwords. I go through that process on Friday in more detail, but go and change your passwords, at least on the breach site to start with, and then work through all of your other accounts where you might have used that password. The next thing you should be doing is don't reuse your passwords. You just use a password manager, create unique passwords. I also talk about, there's an episode where I actually talk about using passphrases where you make up nonsensical little phrases that means things to you but doesn't mean anything in general that you can more easily remember, but use a password manager. Save them into a password manager, make sure it's encrypted, make sure it's a reputable one, all of those things. I talk about this a lot on this podcast. All right, have you been pwned? I'd love to know your experiences if you're going to go and use this site. What are your experiences? What are you going to do? How are you going to manage it? Are you worried about it at all? Let me know. Leave comments wherever you're watching or listening to this video. If it was useful to you, please give it a like. I would love that. Certainly helps the algorithm. Share it with a friend. And if you haven't done so already, please do share the channel, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you find out when I drop more content. And guys, I will see you on Friday for Firewall Friday. So stay safe, stay secure, and I will see you on Friday. Bye. Hey there, thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlyleetham.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.